Do you remember how GTA 4 was praised for its physics? For example, when you landed a helicopter in a pond and the water was pushed away by the air pressure. Well, it looks like GTA 6 might go a few steps further, because while searching for information about whether the new GTA will be worth buying, I came across a huge number of patents and technologies that could set a new standard for making video games. Water simulations, story-changing systems, and a massive number of enterable buildings are only a part of it. The game's budget is estimated to be nearly $3 billion, which is more than the GDP of some countries. And that's honestly mind-blowing. But with such a huge budget come massive expectations, which means the game doesn't just need to sell well, or even amazingly, it needs to sell perfectly. In this video you'll see how Rockstar plans to chase this level of success, so let's get into it. To explain what we'll be playing and when, GTA 6 will officially release on November 19, 2026, only on PlayStation and Xbox consoles. Recently, in an interview, the CEO of Take-Two Interactive pointed out that Rockstar first wants to focus on what they call the core audience and only later release the game on PC. As he says, Rockstar always starts on console, because I think with regard to a release like that, you're judged by serving the core, like really serving the core consumer. If your core consumer isn't there, if they are not served first and best, you kind of don't hit your other consumers. Apparently, this has nothing to do with any timed exclusivity deal with either Sony or Microsoft, which is why I personally think this is a smart way to increase PC sales by releasing the game later. After all, some people will buy GTA 6 because of FOMO and then buy it again once it releases on their favorite platform, especially since GTA Online, called 2.0 here, won't launch together with GTA 6 but only a few weeks after the single-player release. Rockstar will do everything possible to maximize profits from this game, because even selling 15 million copies on day one could be considered a failure, something they absolutely cannot allow. They even bought the team responsible for the popular GTA Online mod expansion 5M, so they could help develop the newest entry as well. It's honestly hard to believe how huge this project might be, and then you look at the engine and at the patents built around it and you start to understand. The foundation of GTA 6 will be the rebuilt Rockstar Advanced Game Engine, or Rage 9 for short, which is meant to completely blow us away with both its complexity and optimization, using many advanced tools. Let's start with the fact that realistic weather simulation will be an important part of the gameplay. After all, Vice City, basically Miami, will only be a small part of the entire map, while the main setting will be a parody version of Florida called Leonida. It's there, among tropical beaches, Everglades swamps and city neighborhoods, where the story of two protagonists will take place, and their relationship could change the fate of the entire story forever. That's why Rockstar invested huge resources into accurately recreating the local weather, and according to reports, the results could be groundbreaking. In most games, water is just a flat texture animated with visual tricks. In GTA 6, the water will supposedly be fully physically simulated using Fourier transforms, a mathematical tool that breaks down a complex signal into simple waves. Even though it's mostly associated with sound, it can also be used to simulate ocean behavior. In Rage 9, they moved away from making water as a flat surface with animations. Instead, they calculate real mass forces of water by layering dozens of waves with different lengths while checking wind vectors and the shape of the ocean floor. I don't know how about you, but this stuff gets me insanely hyped. Especially because they are not doing it only for pretty visuals. Part of the game will take place on water, and since we're in Florida, expect a full weather system with hurricanes, tornadoes and violent storms. Because of that, wind will also become an important part of the world, meaning tropical storms will most likely be able to push water around and flood city streets, directly affecting gameplay. This connects directly to vehicle physics because of something called hydroplaning, which could happen in this game. Tires driving over puddles of water could lose grip, physically blocked by the force of water underneath them. And if there's going to be this much water, it should also look good. And that's where all the patents start, because first patent is called Systems and Methods for Fast Simulation and Visualization of Sparse Fluids. Thanks to this, sweat, rain and blood will move realistically across skin, metal and car windows. Instead of creating expensive 3D simulations, the engine flattens the texture into a 2D map, where it simulates gravity and wind and then applies the result put back onto the 3D model. Because of this, the process is much cheaper and the game doesn't have to rely on visual tricks like GTA 5 did. But what would great looking water be without advanced lighting to complete the effect? And here Rockstar has another solution with patent method and apparatus for enhanced graphics rendering in a video game environment. Basically it works like this. Developers mark the type of surface that feet, wheels and objects move across, and then the engine automatically adjusts how that surface behaves. For example, mud will actually sink under footsteps and slowly fill back like a real terrain without destroying performance. Red Dead Redemption 2 did something similar, but it had the advantage of dealing with fewer people, vehicles and simulations at once. Lighting itself was also improved. Usually games use something called light baking, where lighting data is literally saved into static textures. Ray tracing is what allows games to mathematically calculate how lighting should affect surfaces in real time. In GTA 6, Rockstar seems to use something in between, specifically ambient mask volumes and bounce maps. The first are special zones used to control where and how ambient lighting works. For example, how lighting changes when you open door to an apartment or open a fridge. Bounce maps, on the other hand, describe reflected light from surfaces, like light reflecting upward onto a character standing on a sunny beach. On top of that, the 12-hour day cycle will supposedly be divided into even more natural phases. Sunrises and sunsets are meant to deliver beautiful colors, while the neon lights of Vice City at night should feel even more cinematic. Looking at Take-Two's patents, we can hope that most buildings, maybe even 70% according to some speculation, will be fully explorable. You're probably thinking that at least a million Chinese workers must have worked on it. Well, not really. Consoles would rather explode before fitting all of that into memory. This solution is procedural interior generation using tags and modules. The system described in these patents allows interchangeable elements like floors, walls and furniture to be combined in different ways, creating thousands of unique interiors from a single layout. In practice, this could mean that when you look inside one house, you'll see a living room, while a similar building nearby might contain a kitchen or bedroom, even though both of them use the same building blocks. This technology works through tags. Every apartment will have a modular tag assigned to it that controls how it looks. For example, you drive to a motel outside of the city and it has the tag "Run Down Dump." You walk inside, there is a huge mess, trash everywhere, Asmongold. Wait a minute, what is Asmongold doing here? Never mind, leave him be. The best part is that even if you interact with the room, they already prepared for that too. The room stores a delta, meaning the difference between its original state and its changed state. Thanks to this, the room can still be generated very cheaply. And not only rooms, because the exact same thing applies to characters. For example, if a character is wearing a hat, the hair underneath it will render as much lower quality. I'm sure somebody will try testing what happens when you try to interact with every single room in the game. We'll see this after launch. Since characters are already optimized, let's now focus on movement, described in the patent "System and Method for Virtual Characters Locomotion." Character animation doesn't always look good. One of the biggest problems is climbing stairs or ledges naturally. Rockstar has an answer for that too, because their newest engine detects contact points and corrects movement so it lands exactly where it should. It analyzes things like step length, foot position, spine and hip placement, hand position, contact points, and where the body weight should be. Thanks to this technology, if Jason leans against the car, it should look extremely precise. Instead of creating separate animations for entering different vehicles, the engine will detect the seat position and adjust the character's movement in real time. Honestly, in theory this sounds incredible, but we all know exactly why this patent is needed. And why Rockstar needed an extra 6 months to polish the project. In GTA 5, cars are basically driving on rails. That's how the traffic works. Every vehicle follows a path chosen by the engine, which is why their movement can occasionally look strange, and in online mode it's even worse because network issues can cause cars to suddenly avoid some non-existing obstacles in weird and unnecessary ways. This will supposedly change completely in GTA 6 with the patent "System and Method for Virtual Navigation in a Gaming Environment." The game keeps two navigation datasets. sets, one general set for main intersections and one detailed one for the area you are currently in. Because of this, both cars and pedestrians should move more naturally instead of following one fixed path. And now it's time for the final patent, system and method for multiplayer session management. Leonida will be a massive map, so putting every player into one session would be a problem. Because of this, if you and another player are on opposite sides of the map, the server will create two separate sessions for you. Only when you get closer to each other will those sessions merge into one, while the server decides which data should become the true version of events. This allows many players to exist on the map at the same time without suffering from server overload. For people mainly waiting for GTA Online 2.0, this is a very important change. We're done with the patents, but there are still many interesting details I haven't mentioned, so leave a sub and like, and let's go back to discussing the massive world of GTA 6. NPC and police AI are supposed to receive a massive upgrade. NPCs will get unique behaviors and should remember your actions for much longer. Leaks mentioned around 35,000 lines of dialogue recorded by over 300 actors, showing the scale of a world where every random pedestrian could have something to say, although knowing the real world it might not always be something intelligent. On top of that, the game may use a dialogue exhaustion system. If you stand near the same NPC for long enough, the game will eventually offer rarer and more unique lines instead of repeating the same phrases forever. When somebody commits a crime, some witnesses will call the police, others will panic and run away, while some will instantly pull out smartphones and start live streaming your insanity on the game's social media network. Police officers are also rumored to have more brain, at least in the game, meaning at lower wanted levels they might try to negotiate with you and react tactically to your actions. I hope they will eat those famous American donuts too. There's also an advanced NPC navigation system that introduces unique driver personalities. An important figure might try to avoid traffic jams, while a tourist could suddenly stop after seeing an animal crossing the road. Because of this, traffic should feel alive and unpredictable. Leonida will also feature wildlife just how it was in RDR 2. Alligators and sharks hiding in narrow waters, mantis and turtles in swamps, flamingos in wetlands and gold diggers near the nearest sushi place. All these dangerous creatures will have their own life cycles, hunting, resting, reacting to storms and sometimes even becoming dangerous. Sorry, but all I can think of is series Dexter, which literally takes place in Miami, especially season 2 in the swamps. Just imagine how cool it would be if as Jason we would roleplay Dexter Morgan finding criminals in the world of GTA and doing justice to them. Since Rockstar loves pop culture references and kinda also mentioned Dexter in GTA 5, I really hope we'll get some references to that show.
Tonight's the night.
Into this groundbreaking world, Rockstar introduces its first female protagonist, Lucia Caminos, who already looks like a fully developed main character. We meet her shortly after she leaves Leonida Penitentiary, a life shaped by hard lessons, with her father teaching her to fight from an early age and her family surviving through crime turn her into someone tough, determined and ready for anything. Helping her is Jason Duval, a former soldier who, after leaving the army, ended up working local drug operations before eventually taking dangerous jobs for a powerful boss named Brian Heather. Their lives became connected through one simple plan. One quick robbery that quickly spirals out of control. It turns out that in Leonida they will have to rely on each other more than ever, because the worse things get, the thinner the line of trust between them becomes. The most interesting concept seems to be rumored Trust Meter, connecting Lucia and Jason, a system measuring their mutual trust. These are not officially confirmed details, but leaked speculation suggests that player choices will affect the ending of the story. The game is rumored to contain multiple endings where Lucia and Jason might drift apart, or even completely betray each other. Could Lucia turn out to be a cold traitor who abandons the partner? Or maybe Jason is secretly an informant playing both sides? Rockstar game has always loved tragic and emotional twists, so we strongly expect a finale that could genuinely make people cry. Or laugh, I don't know why it's always crying. In practice, this means the game aims to combine mature dramatic storytelling with gameplay systems that create stories naturally on their own. Rockstar has said that in GTA 6 the world should feel alive, where events come from interactions between many systems like weather, NPCs and environment, and story elements, instead of everything being fully scripted from the top down. One moment you could get hit by a sudden storm that makes your tires spin during a chase on wet asphalt, and in the next scene the game could throw you into a deeply personal, emotional moment between Lucia and Jason. And honestly, honestly, what I'm waiting for the most is a massive number of Easter eggs and hidden stories, because previous Rockstar games already delivered some incredible ones, like the Infinity Killer mystery from GTA 5. If you'd like to see a video about that topic, let me know in the comments. So, what are you waiting for the most? Do you believe Rockstar can actually deliver all of these innovations? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe to my channel. It will help a lot because I would really love to get 1000 subscribers. Anyway, there will be more cool videos on my channel, so I will hope that you will enjoy all of them, and I will see you in Leonida. Take care, bye bye.